The manager of the Northern Valley Railroad stood in front of his engines at the sheds in New York. All of them looked at their boss inquisitively. A few days ago, Ryan went down the abandoned line leading up and around the reservoir. I've met with the manager of Nick's branch line, and it has been decided that we will be reopening that line all the way up to the end of the line. It will be a very long project, and I need an engine on standby to dodge through the schedule to deliver supplies as well as one to do the actual work. Do I have any volunteers? The engines all looked at each other. They all wanted to do the work, as it could be a nice change from their usual schedules. After a second of silence, almost all the engines burst into chatter. Wow, I didn't expect so many takers. Very well. Marcus, you'll do good for the works, and Gabby, you for the supplies. To be off, arrangements must be made. Rory and Buster, you'll cover Gabby's work, and Jake, you'll cover Marcus's work. Goodbye.
Oh man, I can't believe I got stuck doing your work.
I'm going to be stretched thin to cover your jobs, Mark.
As the others talked, Gabby gazed off into the distance. If she could, she wanted to work the branch line once it was completed. A week later, Gabby was steaming over the junction onto Nick's branch line. Soon she came across Dominic at one of the stations. He greeted her warmly.
Hello. Finally, another engine. I haven't had company since Ryan left. What do you think of the branch line?
It's quiet. Is it always like this?
Yes, it's way different to the hustle and bustle of the main line.
Gabby silently looked around at the unfamiliar scenery. Soon she headed on her way again and arrived at the top station a stone's throw after noon. A large crane waited in the sidings, and she took in the painting-like landscape. She still wanted to run the branch line on her own, but the silence was unsettling.
Quiet isn't it?
Geez, you scared me.
I know it's eerie. I go down that line, and all I hear is birds chirping and trees rustling. Nick and Dominic might think it's peaceful. I think it's creepy.
Gabby said nothing as she collected the empties and brought them tender first down the line. Soon she came to a stop in the passing siding. A slow rumble filled the air.
That's strange. Mark is at the end of the line.
The growl grew louder and louder, and soon a big diesel passed, carrying many boxcars behind him. He said nothing as he disappeared into the distance. Gabby had never seen this engine before, even though he wore a standard NVR livery. She shook off the diesel as she trundled down the line. Later that evening, she returned home back to the yards. Glad to be back in the bustling city, she took in all the unique sounds as she headed back to the sheds.
So Gabby, how's the line look?
It's quiet and green.
Green is the only proper color for an engine.
Apparently for nature too. I'm glad to be back in all the gray. It feels more lived in.
You really are a city dweller, huh?
I was built in the greatest city in the world, so yes.
That all the engines agreed on. A couple hours had passed, and all the other engines had fallen asleep, except for Gabby. She looked into the night sky, thinking. Was that branch line really the place for her? The quiet and sparse interactions unnerved her. Did she really belong there? She sighed and closed her tired eyes. Little did she know she wouldn't be so alone tomorrow.